All right. I'm very tired. Got off work. So a bit sluggish here. And took a while. What am I even going to draw? It's like- so I did draw that Eternal Flame character I talked about a couple of times. And so I thought I'd draw the other two that go with her from this idea I had. So right off the bat, I'll start with one I called the End Timer, and didn't completely flesh it all out for a time. The idea was that he was in a long line of different End Timers over the years, and might go with that. But the thing about him is that he doesn't. He's a strong fighter and all this type of stuff, but he doesn't really have any superpowers other than he has visions of the future, and they almost always come true. And so that's what he's guided about, because End Timer, and that would be the idea that they are ultimately responsible for doing something to prevent the ultimate end, uh, and which would suggest that previous ones have altered things to where uh, the vision didn't come true. Like sometimes you might have to assassinate somebody, stuff like that. Um, but one of the things about his precognition abilities is he's has more of an understanding or ability to uh, predict his opponent. Now, there's been characters like that in comics. Most notably, that comes to mind is the Midnighter character from the Authority. Uh, that's essentially his ability. Other than that, he's a well trained guy. He's in shape in his fighting skill and all that, but he doesn't really have any other powers. But nevertheless, it's very difficult to beat the guy, um, because he already knows what you're going to do. Um, so it's similar in that, except there's a more mystical reason for it for this one. And but since it's all about knowing doomsday and trying to prevent it, uh, I needed a symbol for him, and so eventually settled on the Omega uh, symbol, um, which recently has become the symbol for dark side. Um, but well, what are you going to do? Nobody really owns it, so that's what was emblazoned on his chest. For a while, the mask over his head was kind of a repetition of that. But since then, uh, I've used this look for a couple of characters, but basically sort of the based on the plague doctor look of this bird beak there. One of the versions of Night Knight has that as well. um, but of course, uh, going in with the ideas of doom and so on, it's sort of representative of that. Um, on occasion, I've given him as two weapons, or sort of like smaller, like scythe things, like Grim Reaper. You know, other times it was just bones. I have another character that I think works better with that, so I tend to just give him these, little scythe things. Uh, and so he'll have visions, and a lot of times he can more or less predict the crime that's coming or something like that, and he's there and stops whoever's doing it and that sort of thing. And so different designs of it, and it often was put him in a cape, and sometimes it was hooded and stuff like that. But ultimately, decided to get rid of all that and just have like a long, almost coat-like thing uh, that spreads out from the design of the suit, and it's all black, but the interior I would give red designs, and that's about it. Um, that's In Timer. So next up, the character. So obviously, well, maybe not obviously, I don't know, but initially this was looked upon by myself as potential of looking at different characters uh, that somewhat are knockoffs of traditional superhero characters like Superman and Batman and the like. And there's quite a few. Uh, at the time, there was, well, it's, I think they're supposed to publish more books. But anyway, there was a series called Astro City, and it was more like almost like an anthology thing. It was about the city called Astro City, and it was just littered with superheroes everywhere and supervillains and the like. And individual stories would play out there. Sometimes it was just about somebody who lived in that city, and then they had some experience with these super people. Other times it was the characters themselves. So it was an interesting uh, take on the whole thing, and it was a pretty good series. I really liked it. Uh, some were stronger than others, but nevertheless, and it borrowed heavily from a lot of different ideas and the concepts that happened in more popular comic books and whatnot. But it expanded upon it, and especially like for the average Joe, what would the effect on his life be if one of these giant cosmic battles happened while he was trying to go to work or whatever. There was one story where a guy uh, I, he led a group of people dealing with the loss of their spouse. They were all in mourning, so it was widows and widowers. And ultimately, no one believed that his stories about his wife. I think I'm remembering it correctly, because his wife had ceased to exist because she had been a part of a parallel universe that no longer existed, or something of that nature, or a timeline. But he was able to remember that she had existed. Uh, so this sort of stuff happens with these superpowered people screwing around with everything. And it's like, what's the guy supposed to do? So in that series, there was a Batman knockoff character, and the story unfolds where he recruits his sidekick, sort of his Robin, and his character's name was the Confessor, and his sidekick took on the name Choir Boy, and they went out on patrol in the streets and fought crime and all that. And slowly but surely, the choir boy begins to realize this guy obviously has some sort of power to him. It's not just that he's a really good fighter or whatever. And ultimately, it's revealed that, well, he's a vampire and all of that stuff. So Confessor's look and stuff is heavily influenced In Timer, but In Timer's not a vampire. And then ultimately, well, I guess I won't spoil the whole story, but that was sort of the explanation for the Confessor. The Superman uh, character was a guy called the Samaritan, and he was actually a man from the future, and which actually borrows from one of the ideas that Jerry Siegel had for Superman. and briefly toyed with the idea that he was actually the son of a scientist from the distant future, and that well, the world wasn't doing so great, and sent his son into the past with the hopes that he could, change the course of history or whatever. Um, and that humanity was so advanced by then that they possessed superior strength and all that. But in this one, with the Samaritan, there was a point in time that if it had gone differently, certain events would not have taken place, and it wouldn't have doomed the future. Of course, if he's successful, then his timeline will have never existed, and he becomes this anomalous personality trapped in current time. So anyway, he traveled back, and the suit he was wearing, which becomes his costume, was the clothes they gave him or whatever. And as a result of the time travel, it imbued him with uh, powers. And it turns out the event he was supposed to prevent was, I believe, the Challenger explosion. And and of course, in the Astro City world, he does prevent it. So the dark, terrible future that was coming, which I guess is coming for us, was prevented. But as a result of that, he arrived on the scene. He saves the space shuttle and all that, and the press rushes up to him. Who are you? And how'd you do that? And all this sort of stuff. And he says, I'm nobody. I'm just a good Samaritan. And he leaves. And so he was given the name Samaritan after that. So, yeah. So, um, that's pretty much the deal there. So I went, what's a name I could use to be the parody knockoff of Samaritan? And originally I was calling him the Utopian, but Mark Millar came up with Utopian for his Jupiter's Legacy stories. And in any case, didn't really have that good of a look. I mean, I had this idea of altering, not just having the usual cape look for it. With Samaritan's cape, it's kind of weird the way it connects to his wrist and stuff like that. It's an odd design. Here, this guy doesn't really have much of a cape. He has this cloth that sort of wraps around him, evoking, like, I don't know, like Roman senators or Greek guys or something of that nature. And ultimately, I was playing with like a sign that looked like the letter U and put wings on it and stuff like that. But ultimately, I gave up the Utopian name and came up with just calling him Halcyon, and which calls to like Golden Age and stuff like that. And came up with this idea of kind of sort of coming up with the means by which it's like a Superman symbol on his chest. And so you make these two arrows like this, and then you have the letter H in the middle of this diamond on his chest. And so there you go. He's now Halcyon. And probably I'm trying to think, because I think before I went ahead with Sun King and all that and gave him the origin story, uh, that his father was an alien, impregnated his human mother after abducting her, and thus was born, Sun King. Well, initially that was going to be the story for Utopian at the time, Halcyon. But now, since he's supposed to be, sort of parody, if you will, of Samaritan, that could go back to the time travel uh, deal, but probably make it more akin to the Superman version of it. uh, but I haven't really done anything with it. It's just like, hey, they got cool looking designs. A lot of it was that they would be these characters that were introduced to other characters. I got more original characters in that it was a take on their sort of running into a parallel world where it was different heroes and whatnot, and that these guys ultimately decide the best thing for the world is for them to take over, which is nothing new. I mean, certainly Squadron Supreme did that, very much like it, which ultimately Squadron Supreme became the design inspiration for the Sun King and Night Knight characters. Uh, this design here is Shin's is something I thought I saw in the early Action Comics Superman, uh, but I guess it was just really just sort of the lace up or strap designs on the legs, like evoking old like Greek and Roman, I don't know, boots or sandals or what have you. And since then, a lot of people just draw it to look like. But I thought I'd seen weird circular design there uh, in it. But anyway, came up with it. That's what you see there on his shin there, and that's the deal with Halcyon. So he's incredibly strong. He can fly like Superman, but the only other power he has is that he can give off lightning bolts, stuff like that, and he doesn't have X-ray vision or any of that. Um, and then finally, of course, the Eternal Flame, which didn't really have much of an origin story for her at all, and kind of thought it would be a good idea to play into that no one knows who she is, and that one wonders if she really is, like the goddess Athena or something like that. And of course, the previous drawing, she's just naked, and so I'll draw her outfit in this version. Similar to the Astro City uh, version, was that there's a relationship between uh, Samaritan and their Wonder Woman knockoff, which was a character called Winged Victory, and of course she evokes a goddess image, Greek myth, uh, and she's called Winged Victory because she does have like angel wings, coming out of her back and all that. And some of this is also very similar to the stylings and look of Promethea that Alan Moore did, and could have evoked some of that for the purposes of these. But for the most part, they were supposed to sort of inspire another team that thought, yeah, just taking over the world will be better. We'll keep everyone safe. And then, of course, ultimately, there's problems with that. Um, and these guys just didn't get around to telling you that. And it's, End Timer's the one who, don't do it. So here, for her, we do the diamond shape as well. But it's, with the little sort of a design of the torch there. And then that gives us a chance to give her a boob window. Yeah, there you go. So give her a boot. And here we are. So this is her. There we are. Oh wait, no, that's not the. Supposed to have this. Yeah, something like that. What did I do with my? Oh, well, this will have to do. There we are. And then instead of a cape, it would be the red sash that we keep seeing. There we go. Nope. Nope. Yep. That's who these guys are. And I think for Halcyon, the idea came along where I thought uh, the plot to the Superman 4, the Quest for Peace movie, it's not that great. But the concept of Superman collecting all the nuclear weapons and tossing them into the sun. Uh, I thought, if he did that, uh, the impact that it would have would be that conventional warfare was now open season. So there was no atomic apocalypse to fear anymore, and so wars broke out all over the place. You basically have World War III finally, but it's just not the nuclear war. But it's still incredibly devastating with all the other weapons you have. And it's one of those things where maybe I made a mistake. And the idea is that that's the devastation that leads them to think, well, we're just going to have to, take over and police the world and prevent them from having any conflicts at all. And of course, they become, godlike rulers of the earth and that sort of thing. The Samaritan character had uh, an enemy who was another time traveler who had similar abilities. And I think the story was that he had crafted his great society that he wanted, and then, but uh, due to Samaritans messing with time, it caused his uh, world to cease to exist or something like that. So they were at odds. So Samaritan is called Samaritan. This guy took on the name Infidel. Uh, and he came out of an Arabic world. I can't remember because he was from the distant past. I forget exactly how he came upon. I guess he was supposed to be like this super alchemist or whatever. Uh, uh, but ultimately, they came into conflict and all that. Uh, so, so taking from that, I just went with Halcyon's enemy as Philistine. Just because the name Philistine, you know, evokes some sort of villainy. Um, so, but never got around to doing anything with it. But so it had these other characters that I wanted them to be influenced by these people. Uh, had an almost like a Fantastic Four like family, and I called them the nuclear family. But I think that name's already, even though no one can really own it, I thought that would be sort of the name for them. Uh, there was them and others, and ultimately the world suffers an alien invasion, but thanks to the superheroes, the world's able to repel those invaders. But now it's all devastated, and so uh, having been inspired by these guys, they decide, oh, well, we'll just take over and guide the earth and all that. And of course, it all goes to crap, but hey, look, they tried. There's all kinds of soap opera elements. the different pitfalls, and then of course the generational story is, and their kids grew up and they were kind of spoiled and everything. Hmm. All right. Okay. There we have it. Um, have the sash that snakes around here. Oh crap! That continues around here. Um, I need to, let's see here. It would be there. So we could also go around here. Something like that. Mm, there we go. Oops. Definition on the knee pads. Uh, mix up her face here. We'll just darken the whole thing. So I wonder who it is. Yeah. Well, nobody in particular. All right. And fire. Uh, there we go. All right. I like that there. Good morning, Andy. I'm drawing pictures again. I mean, what else is there to do? Mm. And I got to get back to looking up stories of ruthless criminals and drawing them. Okay. Okay. I briefly considered drawing Snow White, but, just couldn't do it. All right. Hey, Tom, Doug, go on Karmic X show next. I don't know when that is, and that's not always a guarantee. My time is extremely limited, even more so this week because of the extra work I'm doing. So, um, I won't be on Pat's show tonight. Uh, Hopefully, I can do it tomorrow, but I don't know that for sure. Um, and just like today, geez, I was feeling all right before I left work, and then I don't know, it's like the bottom fell out. And then, I do intend to do Wednesday comics tomorrow morning. It'll have to be live because I don't have time to tape anything like that. But I do have all the preview images for the different comics I read and all that. So, I'll go through those. Beyond that, I don't know. And probably won't even have a Nailsin show this weekend because, like later on today would be the time I'd be working on that. And just not doable, really. Certainly won't be able to do another episode of Bubba Stargone in the Uranus Patrol. Probably should have drew those guys instead of this. Uh, but, I don't always get the voice tracks done this early. Sometimes it's as late as Thursday night, which is it's not a good way to do it because then I got to put the sound effects and everything. But if I do anything, it'll have to be I don't know, a best of type thing. Either that, if Pat's available, I could just do a show with him, bullshitting about, you know, crazy criminals, crazy criminals, crazy, crazy criminals, crazy. There's always something crazy and stupid. It's a lethal combination. All right. Andy Manderson World Conquest. Yeah, well, they meant well. But of course, it doesn't work out. All right, I'll put this into the Photoshop. And, oh crap, what do I play in the meantime? I did Mechanical Monsters. Well, this is, I don't know how old this is, not very, but it's a Nailsin news segment. That'll work for a bit.
This is a Nailsin News Bulletin. Defund the police activist begs the police for help when everything she owned was stolen in San Francisco. Hello, I'm Mr. Nailsin. When thieves made off with Darcy Bell's rented U-Haul truck, the San Francisco woman put out a call for help on X. If you see a 26-foot U-Haul truck with the Arizona plate AL50003, would you let me know? Because it had like everything I own on it. The post went viral, but not for the reason she hoped for. Bell spent years posting left-wing defund the police views, and users across the site blasted and mocked the activist. Anti-police activist begs the police for help, jeered the X account Bay State of Mind, which comments on San Francisco Bay Area politics. Tom Wolfe, an addiction recovery advocate who has nearly 30,000 followers, posted a screenshot of a previous post in which Bell blasts the San Francisco police, alongside a screenshot of her recent plea. Bell, who goes by Jerk Cousteau on X, with a bio saying, "We'll respond to all bad faith arguments with ad hominem attacks," returning fire. Mere hours after she filed a police report, she blasted the police for not immediately locating her stolen possessions. "I haven't found my shit. The cops didn't do shit. U-Haul made me file a fucking police report. There's cameras all over this city. They haven't done shit. I just want my stuff back." To those accusing her of hypocrisy, she insisted she literally never called the cops and is reposting more calls to defund law enforcement for good measure. U-Haul urged her to alert authorities to the theft of its truck. "Please be sure to contact us back to provide the police report to the Equipment Recovery Department," the company's customer support account urged. As for her critics, she sneered at them. "Look at these good Christian victim advocates celebrating my kids losing their belongings at Christmas," she fired at the haters in general. It's fascinating how Ms. Bell darts from her anti-cop bigotry to her anti-Christian bigotry, which is increasingly odd due to the fact that she's now hiding behind her kids because of, Christmas. Well, I'd say you made your bed, so lay in it, but it seems someone stole it. This has been a Nailsin News Bulletin.
All right. It's in the Photoshop. Oh, wait, man, one of these days I'm going to forget that again. Did a whole show like that. Coloring the drawing, all that stuff, and then I came back and we can't see it. And I'm like, oh, damn it. All that time. Wasted. But no matter what you do in life, You do waste some time. Oh, yes. You do the best you can not to, of course. I mean, I assume. But nevertheless, oh, you're going to waste some time. You're like, damn it. I could have done this. I could have, should have, would have. Yes, I know. But it doesn't always turn out that way, does it? No, no. I don't know where that voice comes from. I'm kind of thinking like old radio shows like The Whistler and stuff like that, Well, you thought you could get away with it, didn't you? Well, it looks like someone thought wrong. Something like that. Yeah. It's just some, I don't know, phantom who just laughs at other people's misery. But it's okay because most of them had it coming anyway. So it's like, screw that guy. Oh, wait, I probably, let's see here. With a deep blow. Blow. And let's see. Yeah, almost. Almost. Oh, damn, look at that. It all fit. Usually doesn't go that well. All right. We'll put this here. Probably, yeah. And maybe even, yeah. And, yeah. Yes, that is a technical term. Yeah. And make it a little more darker that way. So very dark. Yeah. Okay. We don't really need any of this. So once again, black it out. All right. So, boy, the red just really brings it out, doesn't it? Makes it pop. So, right here. Say, oh, well, it's kind of getting wrinkly there and stuff. As it flows about. Then for a bit darker red. Yep. Yep. And then this sort of blue-gray there. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. There, how you like that? Okay. Whoops. Okay. It's not gonna matter in a minute anyway. There you go. No, this one. Oops, 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 oops. Oops. There we go. Now, don't you feel so much better? Well, not real. Shut up. All right, here we go. Well, I guess it should be that one. Yeah. Bum 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 bum. Boom boom boom. Ba-da-da-da-da. 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 Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. Ba-da-dum 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 ba-da-da. Whoops. Yeah, there's a stain on your shut up. Here we go. No. That. So it almost does have like a bone feature. Yeah, yeah. Bone feature. Wah, wah, wah. All right. I really made a mess of this. Well, when in doubt. There you go. All right. Let's see here. Uh, all right. What I'll do. That's incredible. The way it just works with straight lines. Yeah. And then, all right. I'd say that's good enough. And being good enough makes it so much easier, doesn't it? Why do all that pursuit of excellence when you could just say, hey, good enough? Okay. Now remember, he can always see you coming, so don't bother. He's a miserable bastard because none of the surprise parties were surprises. And every movie he saw, he was spoiled by his dreams. So you gotta understand, you know, like life just really isn't all that fun for him. Meanwhile, Halcyon, well, my name's Halcyon, so of course I've just got to think of myself as perfect. I mean, look at me. So, will it go to his head? Yes. Yeah, it will. But, you know, he tries. You know, that's important. I just meant to do really well. Oops. Yeah, we'll just do it like that. Whoops. All right. Bloop, 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 bloop. Whoops. How the hell did that happen? Oh, there you are. You thought you could hide forever, didn't you? Well, you're wrong. Uh, Here we go. Yeah. Oh, I guess I screwed that up. Oh, no, I guess that's supposed to be. Well, whatever. Uh, you know, at a distance, it will look just fine. And whoops, oopsie, oopsie, oopsie. Ah, jeez. so very tired. There we go. We don't want all these unsightly white spots here. I mean, how could he show up at the superhero ball looking like that? Good Lord. Okay. So then I don't know, can't call it a cape per se. Um, well, his cloth. uh, There it goes. And here. And there. How about there too? Sure, why not? And that. Alright. So long, white spot. You too. And then you. And, yeah, I think that'll work. Yeah, that. Go away. Yeah. You don't get to stay either. No. No. Oh, too big. There you go. Maybe. Yeah, that'll work. I'm not liking that, so let me change that a bit. A little more red to your sleeve. A little more red here. And, geez, it looks so crappy up close, you know. Now, the thing about the Superman comics and whatnot was they always, because it was supposed to look like he had jet black hair, and so when the light hit it, it would shine with a blue hue. But then it was like, hey, he's got blue hair, ha 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 ha. So when they did Samaritan, the the process by which he got his powers turned his hair blue. So, see, you see how little nods work. Yeah. Yeah, gee, I hope that looks okay from a distance. Yeah, sure. Uh, all right, he wears white gloves. We'll leave it at that. And he's got, so it's sort of this red, white, and blue thing going on for him, And then our girl, we remember her. We've seen her in the nude. There's her collar thing. And then we've got to make our yellow a bit more golden. Yes, yes. Only gold for Our Lady. Yes, yes. Oh, damn it. Not that much. There you go. Yeah, whatever. Whatevs. Whatevs. Dun 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 dun. We're just gonna have to go for the whole Could have gone for EC Bollywood look, but I didn't. Oops. Well, you know the old rule. Good night, sweet spot. Yep. Whoops. I didn't get everything right. I know, shocking. And you know what? She's wearing white gloves too. So there we go. Oh yeah. The helmet. There we go. Whoops. Oh, we don't want that. No. Oop. Oh, God. My patience is wearing thin. All right. Okay. Yep. Do do do. Yep. Do do. Yep. Do 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 do. Okay. Yeah. I thought I could just zip in and do this. I know I'm really tired, but God, I should have just picked a portrait or something, you know. I'll live and learn. At least there weren't any exploding transformers last night or any of that. You know. So kind of had that going for the night. And then little did I know, an ice operation was underway in Lake Charles, Louisiana. So ICE showed up and did a raid. Turns out they had illegal aliens employed there, you know. Now, of course, they rounded up some of these guys, you know. At the same time, hey, did you guys hiring these dudes? Yeah, you know, you're supposed to vet this sort of. Oh, geez, I was going to, but I never got around to it or whatever. um, it's certainly a point to be made that you're going to have to crack down on some of these guys who violate the law on the other end of it as well. I never really thought of it as a floating flying sash as a weapon, but I suppose it certainly could be. I mean, she can command its every move. That What is ever so annoying, but it's inevitable. Alas, I am but mortal. Eh, what's this? Yeah. Alright. Okay. So here, the only skin you see is her neck and her boob window. Yeah. Sometimes that's all you get. But in the previous drawing, she was completely nude. Well, not completely. She was wearing the helmet, and her floating sash, protected her naughty bits. So I guess everyone would feel cheated. Um. I already did that. Well, all right. There we go. Oops. Oops. You can. Oh, for God's sakes, get on there. Give a painterly look to her crimson sash. Alright. It's something. No. Oops. There we go. There for her. Gold booties. Dun, dun, dun. Yep. Uh-huh. Alright. As for, I don't know, do it like this. Nope. Not too, dark. Maybe. It's still too dark. Jeez. Well, maybe not enough. Just can't get the Goldilocks treatment of just right. Let's see here. Something like this. That ought to work. I'm just going to say it does. Yeah, all right. I need a little extra red in my tights. Okay. That's pretty much the deal. Um, nope. Back here. Some amount of definition and shadow. There we go. There we are. Halcyon. Halcyon. Damn. Yeah, there you go. And then maybe a little bit here. Still too much. Something like that. I really should have done a better job on this. Jeez. Huh. Oh well. Okay, there they are. End timer, Halcyon, and the Eternal Flame. That's about it. Yay. Oh, wait. There we go. Sorry for the noise. Yeah, I think that's it. All right. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, wait, a few more. I know. I really hate it when I zoom in on the boobs. Jeez. Oh, my goodness. Oh, that's embarrassing. Oh, no. There they are. All right. There you go. Superhero ideas. Isn't that amazing? Yeah. Well, I guess that'll wrap this one up. Tomorrow will be Wednesday Comics. I will read review pages. I can't read the whole thing. These aren't public domain, you know. But let's see, it'll be Absolute Batman, Superman, not Absolute Superman. I don't think I'm going to bother with that one anymore. Um, I think that's it for the main, stream comics. Then there's Nightclub 2, and that one's come to an end, so I got those. There's 2 issues of those, and then another issue of Rook Exodus, which I believe is also the conclusion of its first story arc. So anyway, I look forward to those tomorrow on Mr. Nailsin's Wednesday Comics. Won't that be nice? Well, I'm hoping it will be, but we'll have to wait and see. That's how these things go. As worn out as I am now, imagine how worn out I'll be then. See, there's that to look forward to, too. Tutu. No, I won't be wearing a tutu. All right. Have a good rest of your day. I'm going to go off and collapse. See you tomorrow.